we have some breaking news I want to report right now. This is a scoop from ABC that months after leaving the White House, Donald Trump allegedly discussed sensitive information about nuclear submarines with a random member of his Mar-a-Lago club. We will be updating you more on that, but this just broke. We will keep you posted. And I think there's
Ben, I don't mean to break in here, but I feel I have to. One of the things that I warned everyone, not just from House Oversight, but all the way television. I remember sitting with Joy Reid, with Reverend Al, with Ari Melber, with Alison Camerata, you name it. How many people I sat with, and I said, "You're all looking at the wrong thing." Okay, yes. We know he has these top secret documents. We know that they have now been taken as a result of the subpoena, of the warrant that was executed on Mar-a-Lago. That's not the more dangerous thing that we should all be talking about. What we should be talking about is, while these documents were in his possession, who saw them? What did he do with them? Who has copies of them? What they needed to do, and this is the example that I gave, kind of like the game Where's Waldo. They need to go back literally to the day after he left the White House, and they need to examine his flight records as to where he went. And then from there, they need to figure out, and this is a full-time job for not one person, but a whole team, to figure out his itinerary, who he met with, and so on, and start to speak to those people about what information that Donald showed them, that they talked about, etc. Because the most important thing is not locking up Donald. That will happen potentially on its own. The most important thing is our national security. And who knows who he showed what to, and how that information that has been leaked or sold or given away for whatever reason it might be, places all of us, places our country at risk. These are the important things that we need to know right now. And the fact that the Biden administration is not all over this, the fact that Congress has not asked for some sort of a hearing, the fact that the DOJ is not pursuing this area, to me, it's abhorrent. There is no reason in the world why they should not know every single place that Donald went, that they should not know the names of every single person that Donald spoke to. We do, as a country, need to know exactly who he spoke to, exactly what he showed them, because this example is what I spoke about 2.5 years ago. 2.5 years ago, I said, rest assured, Donald cannot keep a secret. Not if he thinks that it could benefit him. Personally, I'd love to know the name of the Mar-a-Lago member, because chances are I may know who that person is, and I may know what that person might have benefited from having that information. This is really no joke. You never know what Donald is going to do. Remember that he doesn't care about the country. He doesn't care about the American people. And he certainly doesn't care about selling, giving, whatever it might be, this top secret information to one of our country's adversaries, especially because he's mad at the country that he wasn't reelected, that he lost to Joe Biden, who he refers to as the loser, right? Even though, of course, we know Biden won. And he's willing to allow the country to get burnt down because of his anger and because of the way that he feels he's been mistreated.
Well, to be fair, with the Department of Justice, they are pursuing this, and from the outset, they have been pursuing all of the people who Donald Trump may have shared this information with. That's how they were able to identify it. We're learning about this now because Donald Trump is filing a motion to try to delay the trial in the Southern District of Florida, arguing that he doesn't have all of the SEPA Section 4 documents, Classified Information Procedures Act documents. Jack Smith doesn't want to share about a handful of those documents, even in a skiff with Donald Trump's lawyer, like the nuclear records. likely because the fear is that you can't even show Donald Trump these documents because of the exigent circumstances that would be caused, the danger and threat he poses. So Donald Trump is trying to get a continuance. He filed a motion to continue trial, acting like Jack Smith has to show him the nuclear records again. And Jack Smith's like, no, Section 4 of CIPA says I could request from the judge a summary. I don't have to show all of these documents. That's why I think the timing of this is coming out now. And as the breaking news story is hitting the wire, here's what we're learning. And Cohen, let me know if you know this individual, an Australian billionaire, a member of Mar-a-Lago by the name of Anthony Pratt, who runs US-based Pratt Industries, one of the world's largest packaging companies. In those interviews, Pratt described how, looking to make conversation with Trump during a meeting at Mar-a-Lago in April 2021, he brought up the American submarine fleet, which the two had discussed before, sources told ABC News. According to Pratt's account, as described by the sources, Pratt told Trump he believed Australia should start buying its submarines from the United States, to which an excited Trump, leaning toward Pratt as if to be discreet, then told Pratt two pieces of information about U.S. submarines: the supposed exact number of nuclear warheads they routinely carry, and exactly how close they supposedly can get to a Russian submarine without being detected. In emails and conversations after the meeting with Trump, Pratt described Trump's remarks to at least 45 others, including 6 journalists, 11 of his company's employees, 10 Australian officials, and 3 former Australian prime ministers, sources told ABC News. While Pratt told investigators he couldn't tell if what Trump said about U.S. submarines was real or just bluster, investigators nevertheless asked Pratt not to repeat the numbers that Trump allegedly told him, suggesting the information could be too sensitive to relay further, ABC News was told by sources. So if you think about there, Donald Trump just gave away sensitive information that could lead to millions of Americans getting killed by revealing our defensive readiness and our defensive posture of our nuclear submarines, with respect to Russia, based on our alliances with Australia, and all of our secrets are getting out there. And yet the MAGA Republican morons are inviting this guy back to the House of Representatives where he led an insurrection. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, has all legacy media, I know the Republican Party at this point has just embraced this MAGA traitor Putin puppet label, but when I'm reading this, and the reason I waited just a little bit, Cohen, to even share all of that with you is I had to read it like 10 times, and it didn't compute in my mind that this could be real. So I went back and I said, he shared with a random person at his club our nuclear secrets about how we can defend ourselves to Russia. Imagine what this freaking traitor was saying at Helsinki to Putin. He probably gave the whole game away.
Yeah. So, Ben, one of the things that I had said before, and it's one of the things that I love about Political Beatdown, and it's something that you and I constantly refer to. You and I do not agree on everything, and we're not supposed to. And we can still have a civil conversation. This is what is lacking right now in our government. 2.5 years ago, and I'm going to repeat myself on this. 2.5 years ago, I turned around and I made public statements that there's no doubt in my mind Trump has shown and spoken about these top secret documents to others. And it is imperative that our DOJ does something to find every single person that he spoke to and understand exactly what he told them so that we could ensure national security to this country. 2.5 years later, we have an article that corroborates my feelings, the belief that I had. We should be further. And when I mean further, I'm talking way further down the line, because it is our national security. And there is nothing more important than American security. It is the single first import that a president is responsible for, and that is for the safety of all Americans. That is really the job of the president of the United States. And the administration should be right now pushing to find every single person that this Mandarin Mussolini was speaking to, because I assure you, this guy Pratt is not the one and only, which we obviously know, but how much further down the line did he provide documents, information, national security secrets? We don't know. We truly don't know. And that's the scariest thing, is not knowing.
Chills. I mean, this is treason. No wonder he says and projects treason, treason, your treasonous, your treasonous. Why he goes, it's all projection, how he goes after General Mark Milley, the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. He goes after his former chief of staff and four-star General John Kelly. He goes after his own Secretary of Defense, Mark Esper, who he calls Mark Esper, because he knows what a treasonous, traitorous person he is.
At MeidasTouch, we are unapologetically pro-democracy, and we demand justice and accountability. That's why we're spreading our message to Convict 45. That's right, gear up right now with your Convict 45 tees and pins at store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.